Yes, and me playing as China in 1.10. At first, 1.10 might not seem like a very significant update for China, but there are two pretty significant changes for us. One, Austria gets the manorialism law. This might seem irrelevant because Austria is not China, but any subject of Austria can also get the manorialism law. And manorialism gives you 0.1% state construction efficiency per arable land that's employed, and so in China, that could give us like 36% state construction efficiency in Shaanxi, 56% in Jiangxi. So you can get tons and tons of state construction efficiency. Every Chinese state pretty much has at least 100. The other significant change is that negative tax collection no longer just deletes money. If we look at these pops here, they're going to be paying barely anything in taxes because the state has negative 90% tax collection. You can see they're only paying 3.5K. Before, in the previous update, this would have been like 35K they would have been paying. So I'm going to be going up to maximum taxes, and our SOL is not going to drop that badly just because it's barely going to tax any money from most of our pops, because almost all of our states have like negative 80% tax collection. So I do want to become an Austrian subject in a few years for manorialism, but before we can do that, we need to get recognition, because otherwise we're not really going to sway Austria into a play. So we're going to start out by researching colonization to unlock recognition. And then I think I'm going to do empiricism for the education access, stock exchange for the MAPI, and then go into railways. Now I'm just going to start doing some basic economy stuff. I'm going to go up to iron frame buildings. Even though on China, wood frame buildings is good at the start, we just kind of need to be able to spend our money. And so at the very start, I'm going to do iron frame to expand construction up. And then once we have our construction expanded, I'm going to go back down to wood frame until we can build up the iron mines to stop running a shortage on iron frame construction. Something like that should be a good amount of construction sectors. Or no, actually we're going to need more because iron frame, costs, or wood frame gives so little construction. Probably something like 70 construction sectors will be a good start. Now I'm going to do some classic decrease spam. Social mobility, road maintenance, and resource industry in Shaanxi. Social mobility in southern Jilin and Yunnan. Or actually, maybe we should do different states than this. I'm used to doing these states because they have good resources, but they do have fairly low arable land quantities. Or southern Jilin actually has good, but Yunnan has pretty low. So we might want to do a different state. I wonder which other states have good iron and coal. Looks like maybe Beijing isn't too bad. So I'll try to do Beijing. Something like this. And then, yeah, that seems like a decent starting decree setup. We want to keep pretty good negative enactment time for passing tenant farmers and then back to manorialism, because we can't go to manorialism. No IGs will support it from going from serfdom because they're the same law. Now I'm going to move my one starting interest over into the Rhine. It says we have two, but we're going to lose our other interest once the negative from being unrecognized, or from isolationism I mean, kicks in. I'm going to start hiring a bunch of generals because we don't want to have our army power projection decrease from low organization. Okay, well now that I've got the setup complete, I guess I'm going to declare my first war to protectorate, or I mean tributary Dynam. Doesn't really matter too much. We just want to have some sort of war going, because we don't want to waste our infamy over the starting period, although this might be a little bit excess infamy because, we are going to get recognition before the 7-year period that this infamy decay is going to take to conclude. Yeah, we're just going to stack all these troops on the border. We'll probably do 2 naval invasions, and there's just no way they're going to be able to defend against all of that. I guess I can, revoke claim to make them more likely to simply back down. They should be pretty likely to back down. Oh, oops, I did not click this as early as I could have, but yeah, we're going to ban the opium trade because we need to not have this penalty be a huge problem for us. Hopefully Vietnam just backs down, because this war actually can be sort of tough if they don't back down. Okay, but they do end up backing down. That is very nice to see. If they didn't, we would have just had to do a bunch of naval invasions. Well, unfortunately, my RNG this game is not looking too good. France, Russia, and Britain are all belligerent. I'm going to start improving relations with France. Oh yeah, I'm also going to declare all the rivalries I can, because of something we're going to need to do later on is going to require a bunch of rivalries. And I'm going to improve relations with as many people as I can. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. I'm going to need a good attitude from Russia or something. Because if we cannot get a guarantee independence from anyone, then this war with the UK that we're going to have to fight soon is going to be nearly impossible. I'm actually going to give Prussia investment rights because they will potentially build railways in me, and then I'll owe them an obligation. And hopefully they'll just accept this treaty. Yeah, they do. If they didn't, we would have just had to Give them some monies. Now I'm also gonna go for Spain, because more people guaranteeing my independence is better. Also, Spain has a border with Britain, so that could potentially distract quite a few troops. I can probably give them like 2,500, or maybe let's start with 3,000 and then keep going up from there. Okay, they just accepted that. That's good. Now, is there anyone else I could potentially get to guarantee my independence? Austria? Could you support or guarantee my independence? I could give you investment rights too. That's more railways that we can get built. Austria, I'll give you 5,000 per week if you guarantee my independence. What do you think about that? Okay, they like that. That's good. I think that will be enough to beat Britain in the Opium Wars. We'll see. Prussia, Austria, plus Spain. Spain is going to be a big help because they'll actually distract a lot of British troops on their Gibraltar front. Get addiction recovery. I think I want to take that 35% loyalist, although plus 2 SOL and negative 5% mortality is actually also some really nice modifiers, but 35% loyalist is just completely insane. Okay, at this point, all new construction sectors are going to be going onto wood frame buildings because, yeah, we're already running iron and tools shortages. I'm just gonna get the extra influence. Yeah. I'll declare more rivalries because we are going to need to go into maximum influence deficit eventually in order to become a Austrian subject. I've got a pretty big peasant movement, so I'm going to bring in the rural folk to my government, and then I'm going to start passing tenant farmers because we're going to need to be on tenant farmers in order to get onto manorialism. The Brits have declared war! So I'm going to move my interest over to Canada because I'm going to do Lib Newfoundland. The old strat of like libbing Jamaica doesn't work anymore because any army in the Caribbean HQ now automatically defends everything in the Caribbean HQ. And that's how HQ defense works now, so that doesn't really work as well. Newfoundland is a decent option. Guatemala would be a good option, except that whenever Central America releases Guatemala, it breaks your war goal. Malta also could work. I don't know how likely they are to keep defenders there as the war begins. But yeah, just gonna wait for 20 escalation, then call in Austria. Then I'm going to swap over to a PB government, and then call in Prussia. Yes, they like me a lot. Very good. Then I'll swap back over to the landowners and rural folk for tenant farmers. And yeah, we're just gonna go for our Liberate Newfoundland. There is Liberate Newfoundland. And yeah, that's the war goal we want to go for because we need to get 50 maneuvers worth of war goals in order to get recognition. And then I guess I'll also start going for some conscripts because that'll help defend slightly better maybe. I'm going to tell my army to move to the Italy HQ, then move a navy over to the Gulf of St. Lawrence so that as soon as the war starts, I'll be closer than I would otherwise be to Canada. Okay, the British immediately started naval invasion on Beijing. Now, pretty much our only chance at this, I think, if we can get a general that has tactful, I think that we can actually force him to be the general that gets into the defensive battles. So I'm going to look through all my generals for a general that is tactful, and then I will show off the strategy that we're going to use for that. Okay, I did not have any cautious generals found quite yet, but I'm going to set this army to go naval invade Newfoundland, and I'm going to now start hiring more generals until I get one that is a tactful. Okay, it took a lot of finding, but I finally got my tactful general. So I'm going to split him off into a separate army. Or no, actually I'm going to split the other general into a separate army. Yeah, that way this 30 stack should just be commanded by a tactful. And I'm going to call this the tactful army. The tactful army. And the plan is this guy's going to be the only one who actually goes to the front because I'm pretty sure that that's how it determines the general, whereas any troop in the HQ will be able to defend. Oh, this army has no battalions, so it doesn't work as an army. Yeah, okay, that works. Now I can send you up to North China. Okay, so here's the front. I'm gonna assign this tactful army on defense. And we're gonna really hope for a woodlands, I guess. That's kind of our only well, our real hope is to be able to defend for 100 days till someone arrives. Okay, this battle is not going amazing for us, but it's also not going terrible. Like, we are dealing actually significant amounts of deaths to the British because we have a non-zero defense, or we had a non-zero defense. Okay, this battle actually is going kind of well for us because we got good visibility versus poor visibility. Okay, we still lose, but like we dealt another 3,000 casualties, which is pretty solid. You know, the British now only have like half manpower, but they win that battle anyway. So time for battle 3. The Austrians are actually almost here. Okay, hopefully we can delay this battle for long enough for the Austrians to arrive. Because if the Austrians arrive, then we're like so fine, I think. Okay, yes, we should get there in time. Or the Austrians... No, the Austrians don't get there in time. But this battle kind of looks like an easy dub. No, it's not. Okay, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate that we don't quite get there in time. But what we will be able to do is once this battle ends, hopefully the British fleet will leave, and then we can naval invade from behind into Beijing. We got tenant farmers. That's good. Oh, they got me out of Newfoundland? That is not ideal. Let's try that again. See what happens if I try to land Newfoundland. Are they actually just okay, well, I'm going to naval or no, they have their 130 stack here still, so that's not ideal. I'm gonna put everything I can on the front, and we're gonna, oh, the Navy is leaving. Okay, good. You're gonna go naval invade into Beijing now. Get it back. And yes, we get into Newfoundland, and all the armies are seemingly gone, so I'm just gonna hire as many generals as possible, and hopefully we can push through Canada, at least a little bit. Okay, I actually split the front in two by taking New Brunswick. I did not realize he was gonna do that, but yeah, this isn't ideal, but I guess we can technically occupy Britain like this. Okay. Take over Upper Canada. Yeah, we're gonna get through quite a lot of Canada. I'm gonna split formation and then go for a new naval invasion on like Nova Scotia with this army. That seems good. Okay, I think I need a little bit more construction sectors, so I'm just gonna expand a little bit more. Ceylon and Nova Scotia actually have some armies here, so I'm not gonna be able to land in Nova Scotia. They're just gonna have to sit here and get ready to retake Newfoundland after it gets taken, I guess. Let's actually just disband you. I'm gonna delete all conscripts and then teleport them over into the Canada front, because I think Canada front is kind of most important right now, and or actually this isn't gonna work that well. I'm gonna do like 100, because actually we'll have convoy problems if I try to transfer over like 500 troops there. Yeah, okay, I'll do like 150. That should be the most we can do without having like super severe convoy issues, I'd think. Okay, relanding Newfoundland. Of course, they're stationing their. Oh, what? What? That defends it? No, you're kidding me. I managed to land Ireland, but of course they kicked me out. But I do think that will let me land Canada again now. I don't think they'll be defending that. Really? Or do these troops count as defending it? We'll see. If they do, that's going to be a bit of a problem for us. Okay, looks like it's good, and we're in. So now these troops are going to the front, but yeah, I think we only have one solution to this, which is to invade them with everything. If we just have 4 separate generals, they cannot defend against everything at once. It's just gonna push so fast that they won't have any ability to stop it, hopefully. Yeah, let's try this. Come on. Push like you've never pushed before. Please tell me, yeah, you're 20 days away. You got exiled. Nice. Okay, some troops need to go here. And yeah, we're looking on good track at the moment. Oh, some troops got to the front. That is very unfortunate. Is this landable? This is landable, I think. I guess after I get in here, I'll maybe try landing that. I don't know. But they have like 100 troops. It's gonna be tough. I'm gonna try. No, okay, I can't do that. But Britain is capping, just very slowly, and they don't want to make peace yet. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to pass interventionism. Let's go do a treaty with Austria for that. Law commitment, interventionism. Very nice. Let's start passing that. Okay, I can now sign this peace deal. It's actually, or are they lucky to take this back? Maybe they are. I was thinking maybe we should wait till the end of the month. Yeah, I'm gonna actually wait till the month tick, just so I don't accidentally have recognition tick down, and that would be very sad. Okay, now we're gonna get recognition, which is very good, but I'm not gonna click this button quite yet. So before we click this button, we have a couple of things we need to do. Firstly, we need to get humiliated by someone. So, yeah, I need to move an interest to somewhere where I can get humiliated. Japan is probably a good target. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Japan, I think. So I'm gonna declare on Japan for humiliation, and then we're gonna instantly back down to Japan. Their only war goal is gonna be to humiliate us, probably. Yep, okay, we insta back down. Very good. Now that gives us a little bit of negative prestige. Now I'm gonna do minimum government wages, and that'll give me a little bit more negative prestige. Negative 45% or negative 40%. But the problem is we still need to go down quite a bit more. So I'm going to exile the sit-in on the leader of the literati, which should result in us getting social criticism. That's another negative 10% prestige. Now I'm going to spend all of my influence points by improving relations with everyone I possibly can. Okay, I've now spent all my influence points. I'm not going to cancel all of my rivalries. Now that's going to leave me with negative 1.9 thousand influence, giving me negative 50% prestige, which brings me down to a total prestige of 0, from which I can now accept the Qing-Prussian Treaty of Navigation, and I am now an insignificant power. Well, from here it's fairly simple. We just need to renegotiate this treaty into an alliance in exchange for trade privileges and a little bit of money. Oh, I need to have influence to send an offer to the Austrians. Oh, that's a bit of a big problem. Well, if I can't use an alliance, then I'm going to move my interest over into somewhere. Where it would be best? Montenegro. Is that a good country to invade? I don't know. Maybe the Ottomans are a good country to invade that Austria would not like, and that we could then call them in against. Yeah, let's give that a go. Okay, I'm going to declare on the Ottomans for Lib Bosnia-Herzegovina, and then Austria is -1 to joining me. Okay, I'm going to kick out the rural folk in exchange for the church. And yes, now Austria wants to join me, and we should be able to become protectorate, which is exactly what we want. Very nice. We are now a subject of the Austrians. Okay, we can now back down in this play. So, yeah, I'm gonna request market control because there's absolutely zero chance that we're gonna have a good market. Um, Hopefully these guys flip protective towards us. Okay. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. I'm going to now cancel improving relations with like every single person in the universe so that I actually have prestige again. And it should be pretty easy to break free from Austria, although I don't actually know if we want to break free from Austria quickly. Because staying an Austrian subject means that we can request knowledge sharing from them, which would actually be pretty nice. And we can get law movements for like plus 15% success on minor power, which is pretty good. I guess I might as well request support regime. You know, like we are getting infinite liberties there anyway, and as soon as I can, I will be requesting knowledge sharing. And if we look in our laws, we should see, yes, serfdom has been replaced with manorialism as a law we can go, which we're going to be doing after interventionism. Improving relations with Britain is, or I mean, improving relations with Russia is kind of futile because yeah, they just hate me. Instead, I want to improve relations with Dynam because yeah, we need to get our subject loyal. Okay, thank you, Austria, for the knowledge sharing as well. Okay, we get interventionism. Now it's time to go back onto manorialism. For my next war, I'm going to conquer Bhutan. That's because it'll give us a border into the East India Company, which we are going to be wanting if we want to transfer them eventually, which we definitely do want to do. Especially because it's so cheap as a subject of Austria, because we're a minor power. It's only 67 infamy. Manorialism success chance is just so absurdly high, and we're getting the 30% from ideological unions. So yeah, this is just a super easy pass on manorialism, and it's through just like that. Now we get the most broken modifier to ever be made. 37.5% state construction efficiency, 56.7% state construction efficiency, 41.7%, because I guess the state has some agriculture throughput. Oh, this is interesting. You know, there's a certain company called Massey Harris, there's a certain Massey Harris company, and it gives plus 15% agriculture throughput. I think the next step, I'm going to build up a big university in Suzhou, do like at least a 50 stack uni. Just want to get some tech spread going and some tech research speed, because we do have a little bit of tech research speed that we can get up because our literacy is not 0. I'm going to go for a protectorate on Burma next, I guess. We want to try to get these guys to back down, so I'll add in some war goals against them. Hopefully they'll be kind enough to simply back down, because it would really be very inconvenient if they didn't back down. Okay, well that's really inconvenient that I just got called into a war against the UK. Yeah, that's actually terribly inconvenient. Oh, that's so bad. Why would you do this to me? Well, I'm gonna try to land Pegu, try and redirect some troops off the front or something. I don't know. We gotta land into, or we gotta get Burma occupied somehow, and we really need this war to white peace in time so I can actually win the opium crisis. Please, white peace war. Yeah, I'm landing into Pegu. Yeah, I'm landing into Pegu. Very good. Oh, this is all one big front. Okay, well, we need to get into Mandalay to occupy, to enforce the war. Okay, I'm gonna finish up that war with Burma now. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna go down to just high taxes because actually having 6 SOL is awful. I don't know why my SOL is actually this bad. But yeah, this is causing a lot of radical problems. What in the world happened? Why in the world is my SOL so bad? I should just have opium addiction giving negative. I guess it's manorialism, but I wouldn't have thought it would be this bad. Yeah, okay. That's unfortunate. Okay, the war is finally getting white pieced. That's good. Oh, but I'm almost out of infamy. Do I just like not declare a war here? I don't know. It's kind of feels like I should just not declare a war. I'm gonna reduce autonomy on Dainam, and I guess my next war is gonna be to Protectorate Siam. Dutch East Indies might join, but surely they won't. Surely they won't. And this war will just be simple, and we'll just be done with it, and then it will be all good. Yep, that's definitely what's gonna happen. And we can, liberate Vientiane, liberate subject Champasak, liberate subject Chiang Mai, and that way, they'll just back down and we'll be all good. You should just back down, Siam. No, you should not have the Dutch East Indies join you. That's not good. You can still back down, though. Okay, good. Siam backed down. Very good to see. I think I'm kind of just going to start building up Jiangxi, because we have such absurd state construction efficiency in Jiangxi. Yeah, that's going to be really nice to start building up Jiangxi. Also, I can maybe start swapping up to Iron Frame, or I'm kind of out of money. Yeah, money is kind of the problem if I wanted to do that. Is per capita tax better? No, it's not even close to being better yet. Oh yeah, I gave Austria an obligation, so I guess we can't declare independence till 1851, but I didn't really want to declare independence too quickly anyway, because staying a subject means we can get more knowledge sharing and regime support. Okay, just a couple more days and the opium crisis is finally over. Let's go. The end of addiction. Manchu and Han stop being obsessed with opium. We get 20% authority, legitimacy, and influence. Or we can press this option, which is just worse. Trust in the top option. Now that should give me an extra like 1 SOL, which is going to be super nice. That should help clear up a lot of radicals, hopefully. Yes, we're down to only having 83 million radicals now, which should mean far less turmoil throughout my country. I still have a little bit, but it's less of being turmoil in just every single state ever. So that's much better. Well, we got atmospheric engine pumps, so I can start swapping up those PMs. That'll be very nice. Although we are running a bit of a coal shortage. I'm building up a bit more coal mines at the moment to hopefully solve that. Maybe I want a couple more. Oh, Creative Legislature 3 is pretty nice for the extra setback. Kind of want to start going pub schools. I don't know if that's a good idea. Okay, I'm going to renegotiate this treaty into trade privileges, military access, and then, well, no, I don't want to take on their debt, but what I do want in here is a law commitment. Oh, I can't add a law commitment? Okay, that's a bit of unfortunate. I guess I will just withdraw these treaties, and then create a new treaty. I'll give them trade privileges. Oh, I can't lock commitment against my overlord. I forgot. Oh yeah, okay. I have to lock commitment with Prussia. Okay, law commitment for public schools. And then I will give you $1,000 if you accept my treaty. Prussia? No, you won't? Okay, I will give you 2,000. Wait, what? Uh, I will give you $2,500 if you accept my treaty, Prussia. Please accept my treaty, you know, I just really want to pass public schools. Thank you, Prussia. Public schools is going to be very nice for the education access. I'm going to try my best to improve relations with France because I'm definitely going to want their help in defeating the British, because, you know, we do want to transfer India eventually. It seems like we're running big qualification problems, so getting public schools is going to be super good. I don't think I want to take negative 10% agriculture throughput for that little extra. I should start building up more government administrations, though, wherever we have, like, huge amounts of infrastructure, probably, like Chongqing, because this will just help me get more bureaucracy for public schools. I'm gonna go for Annex Kunduz, because they just conquered Kabul, and now they're only 0.9 infamy, because they have so little incorporated states. Okay, we now have public schools, which is super nice, although this is gonna make me run a huge bureaucracy deficit, which we need to fix. It still is super good to have public schools going. GDP is looking on the up. That war costed so little infamy that I'm out of infamy before the war even starts. Next war I'm gonna go for is annex Oman, I think. Oh, Russia would join Oman? For real? No way. I'm pretty sure they'll get the negative 50 from supporting unrecognized power with insignificant demand, so they shouldn't join in theory. In theory, though, is not always correct. We'll go with like 4 and 4. Because, yeah, we have an 8-stack navy, so an 8-stack landing is probably optimal. Okay, so Russia is +1 towards Oman, but they're not joining for some reason. That's kind of good. I guess probably doesn't think Oman can contribute to the war because Oman is so much weaker than me. They have actually 13 guys defending their country, so I'm gonna merge the navies and then go for a couple more troops here. Let's see an army that has some hussars. Transfer to the 8-stack. You want to give it a, let's see, like 5 hussars? Or no, not quite. Let's see, 3 hussars. That brings us up to 11, and then we need 4 more regular troops. And that should be good. Now I have this 15 stack, which I should be able to invade Oman with. Kunduz is now annexed. That's a pretty good amount of territory. My budget is really not going very well. I'm going to delete all wood frame construction sectors. Maybe except for these ones in Shaanxi, because, yeah, I want to do those eventually for sure. Actually, I think I want to, like, delete these ones in Hainan, and then just replace these ones with being iron frame. That should be better, because these ones should have better mappy. Yeah, our budget wasn't looking too good. Now our budget's in a little bit of a better spot. Our GDP peaked at 127 million, and now it's going back down. This is so sad. Well, invading Oman is not working out as well as I would have hoped. They actually managed to hold out against my invasion pretty well. Yeah, their troops are doing pretty good. Maybe I need to do a new 15 stack? If I do a new 15 stack now, they should be relatively low manpower and then be more vulnerable. So yeah, we'll do 7 hussars and 8 irregulars, and then it's gonna be time for round 2. This time they should lose because they have significantly lower manpower, I think. We'll see, but I am pretty confident that this time we'll be able to win. Oman usually doesn't have quite this big of an army, I feel like. I'm gonna reduce Siam to being a puppet. Dang, I'm losing this battle still? That's surprising. Oh, I turned on auto expand for the government administration, thinking that I was just gonna build up some bureaucracy to solve my deficit, but I just realized that's building tax capacity. Yeah, we need to delete all more government administrations that it's trying to build. That's such a bad idea. Oops. Well, at least we get education too from that. That's nice. Now I can start spamming paper mills, like, everywhere. Sichuan, you get some paper mills. Chongqing, you get a bunch of paper mills. Suzhou, no. Henan, you can have some paper mills. Hunan, you can have some paper mills. Oh, we also have sulfur processing. I'm gonna turn that on, as well as lathes and stuff, I guess. Now, question is, do we actually have sulfur mines? And the answer to that is not really. But I can build up some sulfur mines in, like, Hunan, and then also subsidize sulfur imports at the moment. Sulfur, put a max dimension on that so that most of our trade going through Western Guangdong becomes sulfur imports. We're going to do mutual trade privileges with Two Sicily, so I get a little bit more trade advantage on my sulfur imports. Yeah, that's a little better. The sulfur PM swapped up. We're making so much more money as the government, so I can afford quite a lot more construction sectors. We're starting to run pretty big infra problems. Unfortunately, the Prussians and Austrians with their investment rights are not building up enough railways in my country. I'm out of infamy. I'm gonna go for a war on Mara so that I can push. Oh, the Russians claim they're likely to join again, but I don't believe them again. I'm gonna go for Burma, and that way we can just get into Oman without having to do a landing, because landing into Oman is not going very well. The great Austrian uprisings have begun. Bohemian and Venetian uprising. I'll ask for an obligation from Austria to join them. And then I'll ask for another obligation? No, they don't want to give me another obligation. Dang. Prussia sided with the uprising. That's a little bit inconvenient, but I guess we're not really going to get involved in that war anyway. I might cancel our investment rights, though. But I finally got railways. I'm going to go water tube boiler next for the, what's it called? The condensing engine pump, which is, like, better than Atmo engine. Then I think maybe dialectics is going to be good to get that philosophy department going. 50% more innovation per university is pretty huge. I'm going to start a naval invasion on Oman with this army, and then I'll bring in another army to help out with invading Oman. I'm going to start upgrading all my units into line infantry because it's almost time to go to war with Britain for the Raj. Annex Oman. Very nice. That gives us some borders. Stuff a bit of colonize eventually. I've got some extra bureaucracy, so I guess I'll just start incorporating everything now. That'll be pretty nice. There's a civil war going on in Austria, and we can get ourselves Croatia, Slavonia, or Transylvania. Wait, Hungary's only 100 away? What in the world? Plus 95 from ideological similarities? What in the world? There's no way, right? I don't think I can, like, defensive pact my overlord. Well, I could get a little bit more relations by, like, taking on their debt or whatever, but I don't think it would be nearly enough to get Hungary. But, I mean, at least we can pick up Croatia, Slavonia. That's a pretty nice pickup to just get Croatia, Slavonia randomly. That's funny. Croatia, Slavonia is my crown land. It's not, it didn't swap over to being a protectorate or anything. That's kind of interesting. I'm gonna go for an alliance with France. Something like this, I think. I want to get an obligation from them at some point. I think it's worth the, like, 5,000 I have to spend on it. I need more influence. Okay, well, I can just rival a bunch of German states because I am a minor power. And yeah, that'll give basically unlimited influence. Yeah, now we have 4,000 influence. And so I can sign this treaty, ask for an obligation. That will be pretty nice. Yeah, I'm thinking I want to invade the Raj, but unfortunately France is just, like, not too happy with that. So I guess we'll have to wait on that a little bit and just go for some other stuff, like conquering North Borneo or whatever. I guess I should demobilize all these armies because, yeah, they're not really going to be too necessary at the moment. And I guess I should start trying to pass into professional army because I think that'll allow more conscripts. It'll give them minus morale loss. It'll let us conscript up mobile artillery. So it'll overall be a huge improvement for us. Now I need to build up more railways as well. Or they are starting to come up, but we need more. I want to get I want to take on French debt so that we can hopefully fix our relations with them and just deck on India. Please accept this, France. No, you're not supposed to decline this, France. You're stupid. No. Goods transfer France. Groceries, we could do that. Is there, like, anything that I have that France doesn't have? France has some clothes they could give me. France, give me 319 clothes, please. Okay, that's plus 5 acceptance. I need another plus 5 acceptance at least. You don't want to give me your dyes? Dang. Small arms? Will you give me your small arms, please? No, that's 0 acceptance. Dang. Okay, now we have enough stuff here, I guess. So, on the 10th of November, there we go. We can finally take on French debt, which is going to be pretty good. Now, surely France will join me in my war against the Raj. Come on, France. You know you want to help out Connor in conquering the Raj. Well, by 2 acceptance, we can call ally on France into the war. You swap over to a rural folk government. That is not very nice of you, France. France, please don't leave the war. That would not be very nice of you if you left the war. Anyway, I'm gonna mobilize all my armies, and it's gonna be time to get ready to go to war with the evil British Empire. They're so evil, they must be stopped. We will stop them, in fact. Okay, well, I'm gonna add in transfer British Raj. Hopefully this doesn't make France abandon me. Hopefully. Now the war's started, I can go back to having a more, good government. The war really isn't going that well. Trying to bring back some troops to defend. We're not winning that many battles over here in, the Raj, unfortunately. I'm gonna put all my guys on defense, I guess. Yeah, things just aren't looking amazing at the moment. Obviously, gonna keep trying, but, yeah, it does look like we're gonna want more conscripts. I guess I have a lot more available conscripts, so let's, get them all. Because, yeah, the more conscripts I have, the more troops should get into the battles, which should be better for us. Hopefully. Yeah. Well, this front over here is going really well for us, I think. It's got like a 76 advantage, although we did just lose the two most recent battles. So that's interesting, but the advantage is looking really good. So that's maybe a good sign. Are more French troops arriving? Is that the reason? Or I don't know what's going on, why this front is like saying it's doing so well, but it's just like not. Yeah, I don't know. It's not great. I'm gonna move some troops over here into like this Vietnam naval invasion and this front, because these aren't going nearly as well. France already caps out? Bruh, no, that's not big nice. That's big bad. Why would you do this to me, France? All I wanted was to win a war, and then you sabotage me like this? Why, France? All I wanted was just one victory, and you sabotage me like this. I got a free battle into West Bengal, so that's kind of nice. We're at 50% occupation, but I'm losing a battle right now, so yeah, that's not too great. We're winning some battles, but we're losing most of the battles. So that's not ideal. I want to send back another army to help defend. Yeah, I think we still have a good chance at winning this war. It's going to be a little bit tough. Okay, that's a very good battle in West Bengal. No, it's not. I thought it was good. Oh, maybe. It's okay, no, it's not going well. They're taking a lot of casualties. Okay, I don't know what's going on in this battle. I guess we're losing, but they took a lot of casualties, which is kind of nice. Okay, we got Assam, which is good. That means we can now start battles in East Bengal as well as West Bengal. Okay, we got pro army. That's amazing. Now I can add in a bunch of Lancer conscripts. I'm gonna like delete all of the remaining line infantry conscripts coming in and replace them with a bunch of Lancer conscripts, which will mean that we can start actually pushing, because Lancers are incredible. Something like that. And yeah, we're in West Bengal now. Okay, that's good. Our capital is like almost occupied, but I think we got back enough defenders to win. Yeah, we did. Okay, that's good to see. Okay, transfer the British Raj. Very nice. Big Qing expansion there. The Great Metternich System of Asia. Yeah, having India as a subject is going to give us a lot of money. Yes, 60,000 income is pretty huge. Problem is, it's actually very hard to keep India loyal in this update. Like, it's basically impossible. So yeah, India's just going to be permanently disloyal now. Also, our market is so messed up with India in it. Like, you can see we're running like infinite shortages right now. My positive balance is just like insanely big, so I think it's time to start expanding construction quite a lot. Also, I think we want to start trying to head towards steel frame buildings soon. That'll probably be good. Wait, where did I see Mappy Tech? I feel like I just hovered over something that gave Mappy. I don't know. That was very confusing. Okay, I just checked the recording and I don't see it at all. I'm so confused why I thought I just saw a plus Mappy modifier somewhere. I don't know. Interesting. Portugal just canceled their treaty port treaty. Does that mean I can't do the Boxer Rebellion anymore? I think it'll work with just a split state like that. Oh, I should remove the ban on opium, because that is just a waste of 20% of my authority. The getting higher literacy faster is like the main thing we're doing really good in this run. We're already up to like 27% literacy, which is super nice. Oh, what we could do is actually research pharmaceuticals next, because I should do mass communication actually, because that's like tech spreading and we just need to do 1,000. But if I do pharmaceuticals next, we can go public health insurance before we get our independence from Austria. And that way we can Yeah, public health insurance will be in a much better situation because normally you have to wait like decades to pass it because you need the what's it called, church. But in here we'll just put a pass it using a law commitment because we're an Austrian subject. Here we have some iron mines. We can see the state construction efficiency bonus is helping us out quite a bit here. Like Chongqing has 57% state construction efficiency. They're quite balanced, I'd say, you know. Oh, this state has plus agriculture modifier, so it gets more per subfarm than normal. Oh, I can invest in even more construction, or no? It's kind of close though. Per capita taxation is also getting kind of close to being better. But yeah, I think we're just gonna keep on building up random stuff for now. Probably should start building up some steel mills soon enough so we can start subbing up to steel tools. Oh yeah, and I got dialectics, so that means we can go up to philosophy department. Very nice. That'll give me a little bit more tech spread. Yeah, not getting that much yet, but we're still getting a little bit. I'm gonna go for a war on Spain, decking for transfer Philippines, but most importantly, I actually want to go for Asturias. Conquer Asturias. Unfortunately, France just really hates me, and so we're not gonna get them in the war. They're negative 200. But, we can call Austria in for transit rights. That certainly is a thing we could do, but I don't think that's actually useful. Yeah, I'm just gonna move over a bunch of armies to Croatia, Slavonia, and then from there we can do some land invasions into Spain, probably through France, because we have mill access in them through our alliance. Okay, war with Spain is upon us. Yeah, I assume they're too far away to do land invasions yet. Yes, we're too far away for now. But now we should be close enough, right? No? Why can we not do that? I think I should be able to do that. Oh, I should station all these guys in Occitania. That would be better. Go to Occitania, please. Apparently, oh, now that I'm in the Occitania HQ, it will let me do it. Okay. There we go. Now we can do this. Very good. One more. And then surely the Spanish cannot defend against 3 invasions of like 40 troops. I don't think they'll be able to. There's my 3rd army. Go for Catalonia. And then I guess we can do a naval invasion on Asturias as well. Well, things are going pretty well at the moment. I guess I'm going to start investing in some more universities because getting more tech spread up would be super nice. Like maybe 200 more universities, something like that. Okay, we got Catalonia and Aragon. Okay, yeah, Spain is falling pretty quickly at this point. Yeah, the Spanish are definitely losing this war. They're basically completely occupied. Okay, I'm going to propose peace deal, and I'm going to start incorporating Asturias because I do want to make the company there eventually, I think. That is pretty good. Our block is looking pretty good, or it's not our block yet. We need to make our own block pretty soonish. I think it's about time to start going for per capita tax. It's a little bit less money, but we should be able to fix that by just building up some more government administrations in Shaanxi and stuff to fix tax collection. But my success chance on this law is really not going that well. Why are the landowners so mad? I failed the petition? Okay, that's unfortunate. Can I get the rural folk in government to help pass this a little bit easier? Yeah, let's do that. I've been called into the Austrian Civil War. Uni spam is going very well. I'm up to a technology spread of 128 now. And literacy is also climbing pretty steadily. We're up to 31% literacy at the moment, which is very solid for China around this year. Like, my normal literacy for this year is like 20% maybe, even less potentially. One part of that is that you start with a higher SOL now, and part of that is also that we passed public schools so early. And yeah, that will slightly counteract the fact that we're on guild system, which is sort of just killing our ability to have qualifications. It's really hard to decide when you should be building more universities and when you should be building more construction with your money. We definitely need to build more paper mills, I think, after these unis to get the paper prices back under control. But like after I've done that, I don't know if I want to keep building more unis or if I want to go back into construction. Probably want to go back into construction, but I don't know. Getting more tech spread going is always so nice. I think I want to invest in an even bigger university stack, actually. This isn't quite big enough, I think. I'm going to do another 250 levels, bring this up to a 500 stack university. Because, yeah, we just really are super behind on tech, and 500 unis will fix that. Oh yeah, I was supposed to check if I could pass the manorialism for India. Oh yeah, I can, but they have huge stall on it. Yeah, they really don't want to pass manorialism, but they could theoretically pass it. I don't think it's worth trying. Or is it? Maybe it's worth trying. Yeah, we'll give it a go. If China, if India could pass manorialism, that would be pretty nice. I'm gonna go pick up corporate charters before I go into steel frame, just because we want to get rid of that ahead of time penalty down a little bit, and getting an extra max number of company would be pretty nice, because I don't actually have any companies yet, so that'll be nice to get my first company slot. I actually don't know what company I want to go first. I think Duro y Campagna I'm gonna go eventually, which does kind of limit what other company options I can go with. Yeah, that does actually kind of conflict with the going Metalworks Company. I mean, I guess I can go it, but it would not be ideal. So we got per capita tax, which I think is slightly less money, but I'm gonna now actually cancel all the unis that we haven't started building yet, so all these ones on page 3 and beyond. And then we're gonna start building up Shaanxi, I think, into a mega city. Although the subsistence farm state construction efficiency means you don't actually want to build up that tall in a single state, because you'll eventually lose the state construction efficiency, making it a little bit less efficient. Okay, I deleted all the unis. Now I'm gonna go into Shaanxi, and I'm gonna start building up some stuff here. They're mostly government administrations, because we're running a pretty huge government administration deficit. If I build up like 70 more government administrations, we'll like solve this taxation capacity issue slightly, which will earn us a lot more money, because if you look currently, we're making 66,000 from taxes here, and government administrations only cost like 20K. And yeah, they're giving us like 3/4 of the tax capacity, so that's definitely going to be worth building up more. Well, after building up a bit more tax capacity, Shaanxi is now earning us quite a lot of money, which is very nice. I think Shaanxi might just barely be worth, I don't know. It's like, it's pretty close. If we were to like quadruple our government administration income and triple this, yeah, I mean, it'd be more money probably, but it'd be so little. I don't know if it's even worth it, considering it would make the POPs have lower SOL. So I guess I'm just gonna keep building up Shaanxi for now. Yeah, until we really start running out of peasants in this state. For now, we're still getting pretty good state construction efficiency here. Oh, I should definitely be swapping up to Bessemer process. That's a very nice PM. I'm gonna try to make Belgium stop being wary towards me, because I wanna get a lock amendment from them. And yeah, them being wary makes that kind of not possible, because I need public health insurance lock amendment from someone. And Belgium's kind of the only great power that I could maybe get it from, but unfortunately, they just don't like me very much. Norway is also a major power. They are antagonistic towards me. Everyone doesn't really like China right now, unfortunately. Austria's the second great power just because they have me as a subject. Yeah, it's all coming from GDP of subjects. Well, yeah, that's very unfortunate that there's no one I can really get a lock amendment off of. Guess we'll just have to wait for getting up to like 20 relations with Belgium, and then we can probably get it off them. In the meantime, actually, I'm gonna go secret police, because that is a law we're gonna need. Oh, yeah, we're gonna get the Spanish national movement. That is the reason we need secret police right there, because it's like impossible to keep secessions from happening if you don't have secret police. Russia, that's not very nice. What in the world is Russia doing? Russia does not have a single chance at winning this war. Like, Austria is in this war too. What is Russia doing? Yeah, this secession is actually really annoying that it triggered, because that's gonna mean we can't really get Duro y Campagna for a pretty long time. Oh, and now they're sending a navy here to stop me from naval invading the Spanish uprising. Why do you do this to me, Russia? Well, the Spanish uprising is getting dealt with, except Austria is capitulating at the same time. But, the Spanish uprising is about to be occupied. So, please, Austria. Okay, well, we occupied the Spanish uprising. Some could say, confidential information, but some could say Connor had to reload that like 7 times or something, because stupid East India stole the landing, and I couldn't get military access through Spain because of them already having an alliance, and we don't have a strategic adjacency and stuff. But finally, I get lucky enough to occupy Spanish uprising. -4 capitulation desire. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh, that's actually really bad. You're not telling me I lose this to short duration of war. Oh, can I take on Austrian debt? I like need to take on the Austrian debt. Okay, that actually saves me some time. I didn't realize I could have done that in the other attempts. That would have actually made some of the other attempts work. Oh, we get Spanish horrors from this. Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, we take 10 infamy, and we start incorporating Asturias again. And I'm going to start passing colonial exploitation because, yeah, colonies are always good. Austria stopped knowledge sharing me. What? Oh, I have too many texts for Austria to knowledge share me? Is that the problem? Yeah, I don't know why the Austrians are not able to knowledge share me, but they're not. Yeah, I can ask for states from India from my overlord. Oh yeah, I guess I can. That's kind of interesting. I don't think it's actually useful, but it is certainly a thing that I could do. Yeah, I don't think there's any way I can get them to actually accept any of these. But anyways, yeah, I need to start damaging relations with Austria. Oh yeah, we have like way too good of relations. How do I damage relations quickly? I guess I can start offering to not tariff everything in the world. No. What do we do to break relations quickly? Actually, if I could get an interest in Italy, then I think I can just declare humiliation on Austria. Or, I mean, if humiliation in South Germany. How do I get a native interest in something surrounding South Germany quickly? Oh, the Dutch are a minor power. The Dutch are always a super good protectorate to have, so I think I'm gonna go for that. That's probably a good way to do this. Yeah, let's declare an interest in the Rhine and let's see how feasible going for a Dutch protectorate would be. Oh, I'm also a minor power, so that's not an option. I think my best bet is going to be to like conquer Lucca or something to better get my independence, and then deck humiliation, because I'm not waiting for my relations to go all the way down. Sardinia Piedmont would join Lucca? That's not ideal. France kind of hates me, so I can't call them in. With the power of this definitely perfectly fair trade deal that I have with the Republic of San Marco, we'll get our interest. It's just simple business, you know? For the low, low price of not subventing clothes or tariffing clothes or fabric, and also not trading them, you know, we can get the great port of Pula with the Republic of San Marco, just as the game intended. Now we can get our interest in South Germany. Okay, I'm gonna deck humiliation on Austria, then add in independence. Primary independence, obviously. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I want to go for in terms of war goals. And I think I'll sway in Prussia to my side, maybe Belgium. Apparently, the Istrians, or the Venetians have decided to void the treaty. Yeah, that's not a very good treaty to void, you know. You just like voided your money and military assistance. I don't think that was very smart. Venice, you know, you don't get to void my treaty port, regardless of how much you wish you could, unfortunately. I'm gonna go for quinine, joint stock, something like that. I actually need to figure out what company to go. It's not ideal, but I think I'm still gonna go generic tooling. Yeah, even though it's like gonna overlap with our Duro company, I think I gotta go generic tooling. It's just too good. And should I give this trade rights? I should probably give this trade rights so our trade center is getting extra throughput and stuff. I need to get off of isolationism so I can form a power block soon. I forgot to call Prussia in. Oops. Colonial exploitation. Time to start colonially exploiting Africa as well as Laos apparently. Because yeah, this stupid place does not start the game colonized. Why would they do this to me? This is like the cleanest GDP graph I've ever had, I feel like. It's so clean. I stopped up to steel frame buildings on Shaanxi. I'm also building up some explosive factories. And I'm building universities here because we're really running low on engineer qualifications. Apparently we're only getting one a month. That is very low. Oh, the Dutch East Indies just collapsed. That's unfortunate. That would have been really nice to get them as a subject. But, yeah, okay, it is what it is. I'm gonna start using some consumption taxes because that'll net us a lot of extra money. Yeah, that's a ton of extra money we get like that. 200,000. That's gonna help solve stuff. I also need to build up a ton of government administrations here in Jiangxi. Yeah, something like that should be maybe decent. Because this state is over 1 GDP per capita now, so those are definitely gonna be worth doing. I'm sure we've got some other states that are like nearing 1 GDP per capita. Oh yeah, Beijing is also worth doing, so we'll build an extra like 20 in Beijing. Where else is looking good? Chongqing? No. Guangxi? No. Western Guangdong? Not quite. Well, yeah, hopefully some more states will be hitting that mark soon. Southern Jilin, I guess. Yeah, I'll build up like, or that's, I meant to build up government administrations. I actually build up 10 railways. Oops. Let's undo that. Oh yeah, I wanted to get public schools. Um, Maybe I can manage to get in advance before this war ends. Let's see. A law commitment, public health insurance. No, they won't give me public health insurance. I thought they would. Why will they not give me public health insurance? Huh, that's actually really weird that they won't give me public health insurance. Okay, I'm very confused why I'm not able to get public health insurance. Yeah. Oh, I can get it from USA, but they're wary towards me, so I can't actually. Okay, well that's unfortunate. I tried, but unfortunately we have to wait another decade or so to get public health insurance from corporatism. Okay, we can get our independence from Austria, meaning that our interest rate is going to be a lot better now. Yeah, now it's just 7.7%, and we are a great power. Oh yeah, we cannot quite establish a bloc yet, just because we are still on a canton system, so I guess I do need to try to get off of canton system now. Let's get the industrialists in government, and then start trying to go for protectionism. I'm gonna start swapping over more to steel frame buildings, because it's just such a good PM. So good. Now, I guess I'm gonna go Ching Home Goods as my next company. Oh, why am I running negative 400 authority? I guess I'm gonna remove all my decrees. Decrees aren't that important, or except for like agricultural industry in Jiangxi. That's kind of insane, you know. But the rest of the decrees are gonna go. So, or even this is not even enough of authority. I guess I'm gonna remove furniture as a consumption tax. Yeah, that should be pretty okay. And then I can go ahead and give this monopoly on furniture glass, give it logging and monopoly on that. Later on, I think we'll give logging to Duro, but for now, this can have logging. Jiangxi is the greatest state in the history of China. It's such a good state. Unfortunately, it's running out of peasants, so the state construction efficiency is slowly going down, but it's still pretty good. I'm gonna make the full swap to steel frame buildings. Yeah, we're gonna run a big glass shortage, but it'll be fine. We just need more glass works and more lead works. Lead works aren't a building, but you get my point. We need more lead works. Surely I'm not gonna fail protectionism. Surely. Oh, yeah, I guess we never checked if India passed manorialism, and of course the answer to that is no, they did not pass manorialism. Very unfortunate. But yeah, we'll annex them eventually, and then it won't matter whether they had manorialism or not. Oh yeah, I guess I need to decide if I'm gonna cancel investment rights with France. I think I probably should. Yeah, I don't know. Investments are pretty good to have, but I don't want to make this a investment rights spam game. Although we did use it a little bit. You can do some pretty crazy stuff with it. Oh, we can get Austria Protectorate here, but yeah, their capital is gonna be isolated from us. Where is their capital? The capital is in East Galicia. Okay, well, I'm gonna take up the Protectorate, obviously. It's gonna be a little bit tough to use, but we'll find a way, I'm sure. Yeah, it's not great. I guess I need to get mill access through you. Oh, you hate me. Uh, yeah, I assume they think our treaty is unfair? Yeah, they do. Okay, Hungary, will you give me mill access? Hungary will give me mill access. Okay, that's good at least. That way I can go kill the Austrian revolt. Well, there's a war between two Sicilies and Sardinia Piedmont happening right now for Italian leadership. So I'm just gonna do something like this. Yeah, and that way we should get a ask for become subject from two Sicilies, and that'll be pretty nice. These troops have decided they would rather sit in the void than actually be on the front. How mean of them. What are they doing in the void? What are they doing? Okay, well, they're gonna go to the Danubia HQ from the void, and then they're gonna figure out how to do something, because... What? I'm so confused. Okay, the troops are apparently in the Danubia HQ, according to the game. I guess I'll do a naval invasion into Slovenia. Oh, I got protectionism. Nice! We can finally form a power block. What would we call the Chinese power block? Um, who knows? We'll call it the Mandate of Heaven because I'm not creative, you know? And then we'll form this power block. And then, Awad is gonna give me 0 cohesion. How dare Awad give me 0 cohesion? Yeah, I guess I need to start improving relations with India. So I'll rival Greece. We don't question why Greece is a major power. Um, I'll rival some other people as well for more influence that I'm going to use to now improve relations with like every single Indian country ever. Oh, I got corporatism tax credit? Okay, that's pretty nice. I guess I can go public health insurance as my next law then. Bring in the church to government and start passing public health insurance. Wait, Southern Keelan has 75 logging? I don't feel like it used to have 75 logging. Is this just like a... Wait, what? I thought I saw 75. What? I'm so confused. Am I blind? So I just looked at the recording and it did indeed say 75. What? That does not make much of any sense. Let's say I delete one. Then let's go back into that menu. No, it says 25 now. Okay, that's really weird. I'm gonna go for a fight with the Khalsa Raj. I'm gonna conquer Kashmir, I think. Is this state even worth conquering, or should I just... I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll just conquer Kashmir, and then I'm gonna use the return CBs from the Raj. Apparently you can't conquer this state. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Oh, they're bankrupt? Um, that's not ideal. Okay, I guess I'll primary one. We get a world to win from the socialist thing. So I guess I'll take regulatory bodies. The voice of the nation, plus 20 prestige. We get some rubber, that's pretty nice. Although, yeah, Qing Luzon is not exactly a big state. I guess I should start incorporating everything. GDP is slowly driving up. We're at like 415 million if we were actually using our construction, which we're not currently, but we will be in just a second. I built a billion rice farms down here so that hopefully we can get some grain in our market. Would it be better to do this on maintain single crop? No, we need the fruit and sugar as well, I guess. Yeah, it's unfortunate the rice farms just are not very profitable. Don't really know how to make them more profitable. Jiangxi is actually starting to run out of labor. That's cool. I guess Jiangxi is going to be the next state then that we start really focusing on. Public health insurance is here. Very, very nice. They finally got above 20 cohesion, meaning we're getting at least some mandate now. Yeah, heading towards public health insurance number 4 is going to be very important for getting our SOL up, and thus potentially our ability to increase taxes, but probably not really. Or let's not increase Jiangxi, because Jiangxi is already over tax capacity. Shaanxi, Beijing, Chongqing, Yunnan, basically just build up everywhere. Because we're going to have high enough GDP per capita where that's worth it pretty soon anyway, I think. Just need to start spamming up some government administration so we can level up healthcare. Balance is looking pretty healthy again, so you know what that means. That means we need to make our balance unhealthy again. It's time for more construction. Yeah, gotta build up that construction again. Very good. Very good. I'm keeping pretty close pace with my best China run ever so far. And I'm pretty far ahead of my most recent China run, because 1.9 really killed China. It seems like 1.10 has sort of revived China with the power of manorialism. I can go corporatized unions. I don't know how good this is. It makes radical and loyalists from SOL changes bigger. The thing is just like it's not gonna be that easy to pass any of the other ones. Like we have no success chance on them, and the stall chance to be fairly high. So I think I'm just gonna go corporatized unions, just to get a little bit more qualifications going. Yo, Britain, I promised to give you 7,500 a week, and I also promised to not tariff or subvent a bunch of stuff, and I'll not trade stuff. So yeah, you should please give me South Cameroon now. Oh, you don't want to give me South Cameroon for that? That's not very nice. How about you give me, or how about I give you 800 tools? Would you like that? Would that change your mind, maybe? I think that would. Yeah, it would. Okay, that's good. So, Britain, I'm sure you're now my best friend. Yep, you're gonna give me South Cameroon. Thank you very much. Of course, I'm running into engineer shortages. I'm gonna build up a little bit of a university here in Jiangxi just to make sure I don't run into any more qualifications issues. I'm also gonna build up some explosive factories so I can start swapping up. Oh, I was on picks and shovels for the lead mines. Oh, that's so stupid. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start setting up dynamite because that's gonna be pretty nice. We're getting kind of close to 600 million GDP as well. Well, I think it's time to annex the Dominion of India. We cannot be letting this stand for any longer. You know, our GDP per capita is getting pretty high, so that means we're gonna run out of pops eventually, which means we need to steal some more pops, and also to be more states that we can use our manorialism in. So that's kind of nice. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give all their country to Burma real quick, and then give their country back because I do want to get their subjects. But this way we won't have to pay the or we'll get the negative 50% from states being unincorporated, which is going to be pretty nice. Or we won't be able to take these northern states from them, but I think that should just be Bihar and Ode, which I don't think will be enough to get them out of the negative 50% penalty. I guess we shall see. Yeah, I gave away as much as I can. Actually, I guess I may, no, I can't give away the rest of these guys. Or I guess I can give it away to Tibet. Or no. What if I give you Kashmir? Then can I get you into this stuff? Yeah. I feel like they have a little bit too many pops. Or I guess a lot of those are already unincorporated, but good to be safe and make sure that they're going to have the maximum infamy reduction from unincorporated states. There goes Ode, and then Bihar. Okay. Okay, well I granted a bunch of states to India. Now they're great states of China, you know. China is the #1 country on Earth. And now it also includes India, which is rightful Chinese clay. We are running a slight bureaucracy deficit now, which I guess I do need to fix because, yeah, we need to level up health insurance and stuff. But you know, who needs that kind of stuff when we have 700 million GDP, right? This is time to start building up more of these negative tax collection states. Southern Anhui needs some more tax buildings. Hainan. It's very nice that we can sort of just like ignore the unincorporated state penalty because we just have so much state construction efficiency here. Like, look at this, 78% in East Bengal. Let's stack a little bit more in East Bengal, you know. Just run something like that, and then you know, I just want to build up a dye plantation here. Let's take a look at that in the construction queue. Yeah, that's got a good old. No, that's not quite right. Oh, yeah, it's got a good old let's see, 67% state construction efficiency despite negative 33% from turmoil. That's pretty good. Yeah. And a lot of India has these modifiers like West Bengal, East Bengal, Bihar, Awadh, Agra, Punjab. Punjab is actually really good because it has normal arable land instead of Chinese arable land, meaning that it needs half as many pops to get the state construction efficiency. I guess I can start working on the Victoria terminus. That'll be very good for plus 20% railway throughput throughout our country. Oh, I have my first mandate. Yeah, I want to go food standardization, I think. We get food standardization 2 here, maybe? But that would just give us more pop growth, which isn't that useful because we do have a lot of unemployment, but I think it's kind of fine. Yeah, we're not running that much unemployment at the moment, so I think it'll be fine. We've got plenty of sub farms for people to work in. They're all going to get turned into plantations in a second, but you know, if we just ignore that small detail, everything will be fine. They're all about to get turned into plantations. Well, corporatized unions did not succeed. That is unfortunate. Um, Maybe you could try to pass anti-strike laws or something, but I think we're kind of fine on qualifications issues. Maybe I'll just build like 10 universities per state or something to try to help out with it a little bit. I think that'll probably be good for our qualifications problems instead of trying to do that, because that'll give us like over 100% more qualifications once we solve this up to the better. Yeah, because apparently all of our universities are on the wrong PM except for the ones in Suzhou, I think. Yeah, okay, well, that should be fine. Just swap up to philosophy department. Netherlands does not quite want to become my protectorate. What about if I take on your debt, get a defensive pact? Here, let's just take on your debt first. Oh, I need influence. Why do I have negative 1,000 influence? I guess because I'm improving relations with like 1 billion Indian countries. And they're all now my subject. Okay, I guess I'm gonna stop improving relations with like 1 billion Indian countries. Yeah. Okay, now I should have some influence which I can use to take on the debt of the Netherlands. And now they're still negative 75, apparently. Did that not improve my relations? Huh. Wait, what? Did I not actually take on their debt? Oh, okay, the treaty is still going through. Okay, now they are -70. Okay, that didn't go up as much as I was hoping. Now we need to go for a defensive pact. So let's do this. Now that brings us up to -20. How about I give you military assistance? That will flip your attitude to being nice, right? Yes, now they love me, and now you'll become my subject, just like that. Unfortunate that they lost the Dutch East Indies before they accept that, but it's still pretty good. Yep, now we get the Dutch as a subject. They want to conquer Friesland and Holland. What are the Americans doing? Prop tax is more money, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna start going for prop tax. Bro, we get the God-worshipping society. This is so annoying that it triggers when you get like any Protestants in your country, which I think I got from India. It's so annoying. We actually have proper fertilizers now. That's going to be a nice little increase in our grain supply, which should help out with SOL. I'm also going to swap up onto automatic irrigation, at least partially. I don't know how much of a problem. Yeah, engines are going to be a bit of a problem, of course. Should probably start building a bunch more of those. We got some peasants in Shaanxi. And then, yeah, we'll build like 100 motor industries in Jiangxi. Try and get us some more motor or engines so that I can swap up more stuff to these automatic irrigation PMs because they're very good. Swapping from researching into combustion engine into malaria prevention because I think that's actually going to be a little bit more important to get early on. You know, we can get combustion engine to build cars, but malaria prevention will get more of Africa if we get it faster. GDP growth is very solid. We're almost at 1 billion GDP already, and it's like 1878. We might hit 1 billion by the end of the year, even. I don't know. It's going to be kind of close, but that would be pretty good if we could. I don't think we're going to hit that, but I mean, we're going to get very close, which I think is pretty good. There's dynamic state names for this when it's owned by the Chinese, actually? What? That's weird. Why? Is this the new name for the state? That has to be a dynamic name, right? I don't know. Um, yeah, I guess we'll never know. There's simply no way for me to possibly know. There probably is a good way for me to know, but I just can't think of what it would be. I'm just gonna colonize all the stuff that doesn't require severe malaria for now, I guess. Well, I didn't quite hit 1 billion by the end of the year, but we got pretty close. Yeah, we're gonna be like a year and a half ahead of my best China run, which is pretty solid. Because China got like it felt so much worse in 1.9 than it did in 1.8. I don't really know exactly why, but it just felt like so much worse. I think it's largely that universities got their innovation cut in half. Yeah, we got malaria prevention. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll colonize in here because this state is always pretty good, but I'm gonna leave or here I'm gonna colonize too because we want to cut people off here, but I'm not gonna colonize everything yet till we finish up these colonies over here. Although this colony takes like forever. Or did they fix it? Um, this colony, yeah, it takes forever because there's 1 million people here. Or wait, what? There's only 500,000? I guess I didn't annex Assam. Usually the AI probably annexes Assam, making it way slower. Okay, prop tax is finally through. That's a huge jump in income. It's actually enough that we're actually making a positive balance now, so I guess it's time to expand construction yet again. Going into 1880, I have around 1.05 billion GDP. Pretty happy with how things are going so far. Expanding out a bunch of stuff. We're gonna be getting our what's it called? Durway Campania company pretty soon. I think that state's gonna be incorporating. Yeah, it's almost done incorporating, which is gonna be super nice. Although I do need the company tech for that. So maybe I should go corporate governance. Yeah, I'm gonna go corporate governance real quick. I think it might be time to just do what's it called? The auto expand government administrations at this point. Might as well. It's maybe not worth it, but it's fine. Oh, I should also do bulk scale or mass scale trading. That's gonna be definitely worth it. Auto expand government administration. I think it's time to start going truly crazy on construction now. Yeah, all of the main Chinese states can start getting some construction sectors in them pretty much. Yeah, we're gonna like run out of peasants pretty much in a bunch of these states, I'm sure. And we get the Krakatoa eruption. Not ideal, but I'm not gonna help the Javans. We go to tsunami, which I think it will give us some devastation. Yes, it gives us a lot of devastation. Western Guangdong and stuff. I guess I can use the emergency relief decree because I do believe That will help clear out the devastation faster. These are probably the most important states. I'm really starting to run out of iron, which is, yeah, not ideal. Why is my market so low on iron, but it claims all my iron mines that I build will be like so low productivity. I don't know. Um, should make sure I'm using dynamite. Yeah, that'll help out a bunch to be using dynamite. Do I have the, oh yeah, open hearth process will also help out a ton. Okay, that's pretty nice. 1.13 billion by the end of 1880. That's pretty solid. I'm gonna start trying to spam some trade centers because we are having like 0 trade centers in a lot of our states. Actually, I should build up like 10 trade centers per state just to try and make sure all of our states can do some trading. Because yeah, that would be pretty nice. Now all of our states are not trading too much, so if we can just give them a bunch of trade centers, they'll probably do a bunch of trades. And yeah, it looks like all the trade centers are pretty profitable right now, so that would be pretty good, I think. I wish I could white piece this war with America. I don't know how to send a white piece or how to know when a white piece is coming so I can accept it. Because, yeah, that would be great if we could white piece this war. It looks like everyone else wants to white piece the war. Oh, a white piece offer was sent. Yes. Good. That war is finally over. I kind of want to invade Russia, but also I kind of want to be able to liberate Siberia in such a war, and we can't quite lib Siberia at the moment, which is quite unfortunate. My trade centers are unfortunately not employing up as much as I would have hoped. Guess trade isn't as wanted as I was thinking. Oh, merchant marine is actually pretty expensive. That is probably one reason why the trade centers are not as profitable as they would otherwise be. Let's go to industrial port. That's a pretty important PM swap to get onto industrial port. And then I guess I also want to do stream trawlers and make up my shipyards to steamships. Oh, I'm way too much cementing sulfur that I'm getting sulfur despite having it low price in my market. Let's put that down. Oops. I'm gonna export some stuff to try to get my economy going a little bit more with trade, get our GDP up. 'Cause we need some more demand to stimulate our economy, I think. Or at least I want some more. Can I go for Duro y Campania now? I think I should have. Oh, did I not build the 5 levels? That's probably the problem. Or it's not actually incorporated quite yet. Okay, that's the problem. But in 6 months. Duro y Campania, it's time to get you as a company. Okay, now that we have Duro, we need to swap over our furniture company to having lead instead of logging. Then I need to give Duro logging. And then I need a ton of authority to use for more stuff there. So I'll do that. It's gonna make me run an even worse deficit, but don't worry, it's fine. And then we can give this a monopoly on steel, coal, iron, and logging. And yeah, that's gonna be great. This company should like explode in profits because it has 4 different really good industries. Just got combustion engine. Now I can start building some car factories. The greatest factories in the universe. Southern Anhui, you get to be home to the first car factory. A level 300 car factory. I can go companies 3 now and then go for the car company because car company is very good for getting us more throughput on our car factories. Actually, going this company for oil as well would be pretty nice for like a 6th company. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with Ching Motor as my next company. Get that monopoly on cars, which is super good. And then ideally, I wanna the 600k revenue. That's so good as a consumption tax. Oh, it's actually better to do tea and opium, but yeah, I kind of like that money. I can maybe encourage agricultural industry on Jiangxi, I guess. It's probably out of peasants at this point. Yeah, it is. Southern Anhui. Or yeah, now we want to give a monopoly to motor industries. Apparently I produce 118% of global automobiles. That doesn't sound very believable to me. I'm gonna declare war on Japan because I want to protectorate them. And then I'll also add in some more war goals to get them to hopefully back down. Because, yeah, I don't really know how I'm gonna be able to land Japan. I guess I need to start expanding the navy so that I can land Japan in case they don't actually accept. Yeah, I'll build up like 100 ships or so, 200 ships. That should be enough to land Japan with. The Republic of San Marco is trying to unify Italy. Yeah, that's not happening. Oh, Japan is in bankruptcy, so yeah, they're probably gonna back down. Sure. This is not an event I've seen before. The Korean Rebellion. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this event before. Interesting. Well, obviously the Korean Rebellion does not stand a chance. Except it maybe does, because Germany might join the revolt. I think this is maybe my new fastest hitting of 2 billion GDP by 1886, just 50 years into the game. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, I looked through all my runs. I'm pretty sure this is my new fastest 2 billion GDP ever. First one in the year 1886. Yeah, I just realized Japan did not end up backing down. That is quite unfortunate for us. Also, the Italians have landed in Hebei. What do you mean the Italians have landed in Hebei? How dare the Italians land in Hebei? That's insane. There's a million pops that I've colonized here. Wow, I did not expect there to be that many pops in this place. That makes it so bad to colonize, because yeah, your return on investment is 12 rubber plantations for having to colonize a place that's 0.4x population factor. As we hit the 2 billion mark, our GDP growth is seemingly starting to slow down a little bit. Just hit 2.1 billion. It's gonna expand construction a bit more, because I think we can afford a bit more construction. You know, we're only running like a 500,000 or 750,000 deficit when you account for investment pool, which is really not that big. So we can expand quite a bit more construction, run like 15K construction. Interesting, Dairy Campagna is not employing up. Oh, it's because it's in Asturias. Yeah, that would make some sense as to why it's not employing up. Oh, that's actually pretty bad. The capitalists are, they're burning money because they're at max SOL. Or maybe they're not at max wealth. Okay, they're not actually at max wealth. They're not burning that much money. But they're getting close. The Slovenians are uprising in Pula. I should probably just accept that I'm losing that territory. It's so useless. I'm gonna merge a bunch of these armies by just spam disbanding to like an army that's like 150 troops so that I can actually naval invade Japan, because all these armies are just way too small. Okay, now I got 127 troops. So I guess this may be enough to naval invade Japan with. Their capital is Kansai. So yeah, I'll go for a naval invasion on Kansai. Yeah, I'm losing against Japan. I really need to get like some shrapnel artillery going. If I can get shrapnel artillery, I could be doing a lot better. Yeah, I'm gonna upgrade this army, then I'm gonna hire a couple more skirmish infantry stacks, and then create a bunch of shrapnel, because this is the way to go. If we can get shrapnel, we can be doing a lot better in war. 2.3 billion GDP? Our GDP cannot be stopped. I think I'm gonna hit 5 billion before 1900. 2.5 billion GDP by 1890. That does mean we're probably on track to hit 5 billion before 1900. We'll see. I've got plus 40% colonial growth on my leader, so I guess I can establish another colony. I'll go for Botswana. Do want to try to cut the British off here, although it might not really be too possible. I don't know if the British have malaria prevention yet. Looks like they do. Okay, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. The Russians are demanding return Italy from me. That's not very nice. Am I able to live Siberia? I do not know. Let's see. I am. Okay, well, we're gonna live Siberia, live Kazakhstan. Um, yeah, let's live Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, and then I'll primarily live Kazakhstan. And yeah, that's gonna be my war against the Russians. I think that's gonna be a pretty good war. I'm gonna replace these Lancer conscripts with some shrapnel infantry, or shrapnel artillery, not shrapnel infantry. Unfortunately, we have not invented shrapnel infantry quite yet. I've got 120,000 spare bureaucracy. Okay, I guess I'll level up education to level 3, home affairs to level 5, workplace safety level 5, and colonial affairs to level 5. We've got this army ready to naval invade Japan with finally, and then I'm going to send over the rest of these armies to help out the Russian front, because we are not really winning too good on that front. We do need to step up our front advantage there. I've got 3 more mandates. I think I'm going to go colonial offices 3, although transportation infrastructure 3 could make some sense here, because I'm not like expanding that much overseas. So, you know, just going transportation infrastructure could be kind of interesting, but I think I'm going to go colonial offices, because I do want to do some expansion soon enough into like Persia and stuff. Yeah, I'll probably do like Annex Kokand while we wait for colonial affairs institution to go up. And then go for Protectorate Persia afterwards. Something like that seems decent. Oh, Persia's a protectorate of, who at the moment? They're a protectorate of Britain. Dang. Oh, I'm not able to land Japan. Dang. I'll delete some skirmish, so that way you have a slightly lower landing penalty. And, hopefully I can get it in. Okay, I'm winning this battle, I think. Yeah. Looks like all of our trade centers are now very profitable, so Um, yeah, I guess I'm gonna build more. Probably this state is gonna be the best one to build more trade centers in because we've got tons of automobiles here that need to get exported. So I'm gonna build up a bunch of trade centers there. Maybe some railways as well. But yeah, mostly just want to build up like a 500 stack of trade centers so we can export all of our automobiles around the world. I think it's time to expand construction some more. Having a big profit. Oh, I'm also running very low infamy. I mean, zero infamy. Yeah, I can expand quite a lot more construction, I think. Although it's quite hard to use this much construction. We do still have, or we're actually running out of people to employ up. Yeah, might have to end at 4 billion, but it is gonna be my highest or my fastest 4 billion GDP ever. At least. And we're gonna get compression ignition soonish, which will help out a little bit with that. Yeah, we only have like 50 million more people left to employ in our country, which is not a ton, really. I mean, it's a good amount, but it's not infinity. Well, Japan is now a great subject of the Qing. I can go send this army to naval invade Ingria now to finish up this war. How's our block GDP doing? 3.3 billion? We're very much the vast majority of block GDP because, yeah, we didn't get that many subjects this game. We need to make peace with Russia so I can stop these evil Japanese rebels. Yeah, we cannot be letting these people rebel in Japan. Okay, we can finally make peace with the Russians. Russia's now a much smaller country. Yeah, they lost like a lot of their GDP there. They still have 45 million though. That's kind of surprising considering they lost Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, Kazakhstan, and Siberia. I'm gonna start damaging relations with Kazakhstan and Siberia because I do want to annex country them eventually. Oh, Japan is supported by France in the Civil War? Bruh, why would France do this to me? That's so mean, France. Also, why is my army in Poland? What? How did it get there? Why? That is very weird. Okay, now you can go to South Germany. Can we get a meal access through Hungary? Yes. Okay. Can leave Austria now. Oh, bruh. Gaza is a subject of France and they're occupying my African stuff? Why would you do this to me? That's so mean. Oh, okay, that's annoying that France is doing this to me. Well, I have military airships for another 8 months, so I might still be able to land Japan. What? 20 troops got in this battle? Dang, that's not as much as I would have hoped. Did I accidentally enforce Lib Ainu Masir in my war? I must have, right? I'm actually like gonna lose to this revolt in Japan. This is ridiculous. Um, Chubu is the capital I need to land. Yeah, France is like gonna cap out somewhat soon. But it's not looking great for us because I did just lose military airships. I have so many national movements going at the moment. It might be time to try to pass multiculturalism. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a shot because I've got so many national movements firing. Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to complete the fragile unity. That's unfortunate, or at least not easily. I need to still do the Boxer Rebellion and stamp out monarchism. Boxer Rebellion's gonna be soon, but yeah, we need to get on to Republic for stamping out monarchism, and that's not looking like it's too doable at the moment. Okay, there goes France. That should make this civil war a lot easier because now these troops are gonna have like no defense. Because yeah, these guys now have max default penalty by now, right? No, they don't. They only have 5%. I guess they must have reset it at some point. The Filipino national movement is 75% radicals. Is there no poor in the state? It only has 17% market access? Wow, that's I can understand why they want to rebel. That does make some sense. What doesn't make some sense is why the game is even letting 100,000 people rebel from a almost 1 billion population country. I'm gonna conquer Nepal because the borders look so bad because Nepal is not my subject and you know I need to have the border of my power block not be atrocious. Unfortunately, it's actually going to be atrocious regardless because of the stupid decentralized nations, but those don't actually exist. They're fake. Yeah, I got political agitation. The Yi Hetuan movement. Yes, revive the Qing, destroy the foreigner. Very true. So now let's destroy the foreigner by buying Macau. That's how we destroy the foreigner, right? Yeah, Portugal, I'll give you $7,500. I'll owe you an obligation, and I will give you, you really want some fabric? I'll give you 290 fabric. Okay, you don't like that much? Yeah, how about you give me, this thing you have the most of? Or no, that's the thing you have the least of. You can give me 913 fabric, 913 fabric, all mine. And what do you think about that, Portugal? Do you think that's a good deal? I think it's a good deal. No, you don't think it's a good deal? Okay, oh, now they hate it all of a sudden. They think these goods transfers are bad. Okay, yeah, I promise to not trade coffee or silk with the world market, That's some really big concessions, Portugal, so I think you should really give me that state. You really wouldn't want to have me trading those things, I'm sure. So yeah, now we have that. The Boxer Rebellion is gonna complete. We get the Mandate of Heaven. 20% of Han Pops become more loyalist, which is very good. Uh, Either of these options aren't that bad. I guess I'll click the top option. Yeah, that brings us back up to max fragile unity progress, or not max, I guess you can technically go above. But yeah, we can't really stamp out monarchism too easily. I just got compression ignition, very nice. Now I can swap up from automobile production to mass production. And yeah, this is going to be very nice. I can also put it on max subvention. And now our economy is going to go burr as all of our trade centers just become automobile exporting machines. Plus 1 million weekly balance trade center be like. Yeah, world market price is very much collapsed from my subvention. GDP is not doing as well as I would have hoped. Yeah. And then probably swap over this to diesel pump. That's always a decent swap up. And then I don't know what else is a very good use of my oil. Should definitely do these on advanced tactics training. Still sitting at like 3.2 billion. I assume the trade centers can still export more as countries import more, but it's going to take a second for countries to adjust and import more. I think at this point it's time to I'm gonna go for like max GDP by 1900, so let's just start lowering taxes to start stimulating the economy. Go burr, economy. The economy must go burr. Yes, with lowering taxes and subventing, we're starting to hit new GDPs. Very nice. I'm in like 5 wars right now. I should probably try to get out of those like 5 wars. A bunch of Austria wars. I probably am just gonna have to, oh no, Travancore one of these is. But a bunch of them are wars in Austria. I should probably just surrender. Or no, actually, like, most of them are Indian. We have one Austria war. This Slovenia uprising. Is this actually going to get dealt with? No, I'm just going to capitulate. It's too bad, Austria. You just keep losing your territory. POV Japanese GDP chart. They have a civil war and then their GDP jumps up like 1 billion%. My Asturias company headquarters got employed up now because some Han people moved here. Asturias is now 66.5% Han. Wow. Oh, and as I say that, I get multiculturalism. Yeah, seems like we're gonna have to stay on monarchy. I should probably get off of autocracy. Come on, we cannot be having a game where Connor stays autocracy the whole time. Can you maybe go like technocracy or something? Yeah, industrials could help me go technocracy. That's probably not terrible. Oh, 46% stall? The fascist movement does not like that. Is the fascist movement actually gonna get mad enough over that? Oh wow, they really hate technocracy. Yeah, what? This is such a big fascist movement. Why would you do this to me, game? Why would you give me a 28% support fascist movement? I guess I could use that to pass corporate state, theoretically. Yeah, I think I want to go technocracy. And we'll see how that goes. I'll give it a shot, get that company slot would be nice. I do think I prefer universal suffrage still, but to get better governments, but since we're staying on monarchy this game, that's not too much of a factor. What? Why am I low? Oh, the absolutist movement. Okay, yeah, that's a fail on technocracy. Okay. Well, I think this is also my fastest 4 billion GDP ever. Pretty good. We're definitely gonna start running into issues soon as we sort of run out of pops to employ up and we're like running out of resources as well. But I guess kind of back to China being best GDP for the like pre-1900 stage. Oh, I still have subventions on the import of engines. I'm importing a ton of engines. I should not be importing engines. That is a terrible idea. Where are engines? There they are. Let's not do that. That was stupid. Yeah, I mean, it's not like that bad, but like, why? Why was I doing that? I should actually be subventing like the import of oil or something. I would love to swap to diesel engines, but it just is probably not gonna work. I'm not gonna get electric railways before 1800, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 5 years away. Macroeconomics is gonna be our last tech probably before 1900. Oh, I should swap into electric sawmills. That's actually gonna be really good. And then I also need to swap up a bunch of these onto like prioritize hardwood production because yeah, we really do not have enough hardwood in our market, so that'll be very good. Very true. The world is getting better. Have they not seen our GDP figures? 4.1 billion, bro. I'm gonna try turning on diesel engines. We'll see if we can get enough oil. Maybe I can. No, there's no way I squeeze this much oil out of the world market, is there? I don't think there is. Yeah, okay. I cannot swap up 400 factories to diesel engines, I think. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm actually losing a little bit too much money. I'm gonna have to go back up to like high taxes. Yeah, because I was gonna run out of money before 1900, I think at least. There's a Russian uprising happening in Siberia. That's not ideal. I guess this is all gonna go back to Russia pretty much. Okay, well, got our final company slot. I'm gonna go for Bombay Burma Trading Corporation. And if I can just, I guess there's no point in suppressing the fascist movement. I'm going to give this a monopoly on rubber. I'm going to give this a industry charter on oil. 4.2 billion GDP, getting pretty close to the final year where we're going to do the final push, do everything we can to get our GDP up just that final tiny bit that we can. Oh, did I do this? I don't know, but that gives us a couple thousand more oil, which is nice. Yeah. Is it good to turn on tanker cars? No, that would give us less oil apparently. So let's just keep it how it is. Up to 4.4 billion. Yeah, with the annexation of Korea and granting them Japan, we should be easily able to hit 5 billion but right before the start of 1900. This Japanese GDP jump is pretty crazy that they're at 215 million GDP. They're almost the #2 GDP country in the world. Just the North German Federation is ahead of them. Oh, the North German Federation is fighting like everyone on Earth right now to unify Germany with Brazil's help. Well, with the start of 1899, it's time for the final push for 5 billion GDP. Minimum taxes, remove the consumption taxes, and then I need to fill up the construction queue with a billion things so they won't run out in the year. Okay, I've now filled my construction queue with a lot of buildings. You can see 5,000 government buildings are now in the queue. I'm going to put gov wages at max, mill wages at max. And there's an Austrian civil war going on right now, which is not exactly ideal. I need to get like mill access through you or something. Except you will not give me mill access, so... Okay, I guess my best bet is to station this army like... here, and then as soon as the civil war begins, move it in, because we need to be ready to... Or we need to be able to annex Korea by the end of the year. I think we'll be able to get to 5 billion before the annexation of Korea. We'll see. Yeah, and it's only been about a month and a half, and we're already at 4.9 billion. Oh, there's 5 billion right there. Yep, okay, we hit 5 billion before having to annex Korea. That's pretty good. That's the power of lowering taxes, except it's actually terrible for a budget. But you just gotta think about that GDP number. I just made an alliance with Hungary so I can go directly into Hungary instead of having to go into my treaty port and then land into them. Netherlands uprising? Okay, I'm just gonna accept that, because, it's time to annex Korea. Bruh. You're kidding me, bro. Why would you do this to me? How could they do this to me? Is this gonna escalate in time? October, November, December. Oh, that's gonna require us. That's gonna be close, but it should work. It should work. Okay, it's time to grant Korea to Japan. I'm just gonna give them some stuff so that they'll hopefully reconsider being aloof and they'll become loyal. please just accept annexation because, if you decline, then I actually can't win the war against you in time, so I would have to save scum if you did that. So just like don't do that so that I don't have to save scum. It's just like that simple. Someone could say I've already save scummed 1 trillion times, but finally, Korea accepts. Very nice. Big China. It's said everything incorporating, even though we're not actually going to be able to finish incorporating it. Now, I only have 5.4 billion GDP for some reason. This is an unacceptable scam, so I'm gonna... What? It's not resetting the production methods. Okay, this is really weird. Okay, now it looks like it's working again. Surely this will help me get up to 5.5 billion GDP. I need my 5.5 billion. Okay, these states won't swap over. I think they need electricity and they don't have it. Now for the final Monday tick of the game. 5.5 billion GDP pre-1900 on China. I think that's very solid. My old highest pre-1900 GDP was around 4 billion, maybe a bit above that. So this is quite a big improvement, and overall block GDP is just under 6 billion. Well, yeah, that's the end of the run. I'm pretty happy with how this run turned out. We definitely got a pretty high GDP for before 1900, 5.5 billion. China's back in the running for highest GDP reachable before 1900. Post 1900, their GDP is going to really fall off because you can see we've basically employed everyone in our country, and we don't have the ability to conquer China and India, meaning that our ability to get more labor is somewhat limited. If you could go like women's suffrage earlier, that could help out a lot, but it's kind of hard to pass that in the mid game as China. Obviously, this budget isn't actually sustainable with negative 20 million, but like if we were to raise taxes, we could easily sustain like this of negative 10 million probably. Yeah, we could probably sustain that, although we might want to pause construction because we have 300 million in the investment pool right now, which is quite a lot. And let's look at our companies real quick. We've got Metalworks Company at just a profit of 2.5 million, Home Goods with 6.67 million, Jewelry Company with almost 10 million, Munitions with 2 million, Motor with almost 9 million, and Bombay Burma Trading Corporation with about 1.3 million. I guess I can also show off how far we got in the tech tree. I think we did pretty good in terms of tech for 1900 as China. We got a couple of tier 5 techs and quite a few tier 4 techs. Although not having electric railways is kind of disappointing. The rest of the tech tree is really solid. And I guess we can look at culture. We can see if we can convert it anywhere else to Han. I think these states don't start out as Han, although actually I don't know, because there's basically no Manchus there, so maybe they do start out Han. We can see Mongolia, Zungaria, and stuff have all converted to Han, I assume just because we needed more workers there, because there's a ton of iron mines in these states. Yeah, and so they needed more Han people to come here to work in the iron mines, and then everything else is looking fairly normal, except for Asturias also converted to Han. Apparently there's also a bunch of Tamil people that migrated there. Guess there's just enough resources for that to be worth migrating over there. The new culture map mode is so much better. Looking at the religion map mode, we can see Galupka almost disappeared. Confucian is the greatest religion in the world. I guess we can look at a percentage of pops that are various cultures. Han is almost 600 million. People love it. Confucian is just above 500 million. And this is our literacy graph over time. I assume this drop right here is India finally incorporating. This is, of course, the GDP graph, population graph. We've got 300 million loyalists. Wow, that's quite a bit. So yeah, I'm going to end off the video there. Pretty good run, and goodbye.